All right, welcome back to the book graveyard. We have a lot of great books to look at. But before we do, I wanted to let you know that I got another live Q&A with a special guest. This time is Will Erickson from the Paperbacks from Hell, the co-writer of Paperbacks from Hell, also creator of the Too Much Horror Fiction blog, which has been around since 2010. He's been doing this a long time. So he's going to come on, chat. We're going to chat about the history, how he got involved with Paperbacks from Hell. We're going to talk about other genre fiction books because he likes all kinds of classic genre fiction. So it's sort of like this channel. We're going to chat about that, and it's live, so you can ask questions too. You can post your questions in the live chat. If they're good, we'll pop them up on screen and he'll answer them, and if they suck, we'll leave them in the comment section. Or maybe if there's just too many, they might get left in the comment section too. I don't want to insult people before the video even starts. It's my style. So let's get to the book haul here. We're going to start at Bell Book and Comic in Dayton, Ohio. Right down the street from me. I could walk there. It's a big comic shop. They have a small room of paperbacks. They have all kinds of just cool stuff. I think there's some gaming stuff there too, but I don't really look over in that section. Anyway, my wife wanted to get some comics, and while we were there, she found this giant Frank Frazetta art book of his horror art, some of his horror art. It's been used. So we got, let's see, we got some, let's flip it around. We got some Mothman action here. You know, we love the Mothman. Setting camera, okay. So just, you know, stuff that you might have seen before. I'm sure it's somewhere on the internet, but it's nice to have it. See it all close up in these giant images. Does anybody know what this artwork was used for? What book cover? What paperback cover? I know the answer. I have it. Do you know? Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments if you know. So that's cool. It's giant. Next up, let's do some stuff that was sent to me. So, like I mentioned in the last word salad, Starkhouse sent me this here, this new reissue, Gil Brewer. It's a collection of two novels, The Squeeze and The Girl Screamed. I've never read Gil Brewer, but I've heard Paperback Warrior talk about him many, many times. So I'm excited to check this out. Some classic hard-boiled noir, I guess. I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to find out together. I got another book sent to me from a friend, from Jeff's Cave of Cool Books, John the Balladeer, Silver John. You know we love Silver John. I've mentioned him, mentioned this series of books many times, but we're going to cover it again in case you don't know. This was written by Manly Wade Wellman, which was one of the Weird Tales authors from back in the day, back in the 30s and 40s. And this is his character. He's an occult detective, I would say. He's an Appalachian occult detective folk singer who travels around the mountains of Appalachia. And I don't want to say hunting down evil, because he's not hunting it down. It just seems to find him. And then he battles it. He battles it with his fists, with his brain. And it's very witty, and it's smart. Street smart, but not streets. Wood smart, I guess. Love Silver John. This is the carrying edition. I can take this in the car. I can read it outside. Thank you so much, Jeff, for sending this to me. I really appreciate it. Everyone go check out John the Balladeer, and everyone go subscribe to Jeff's Cave of Cool Books. It's a wonderful channel. Very knowledgeable guy. Speaking of the live Q&As, 2 episodes ago I had Bob Dice and Wyatt Doyle on from the Men's Adventure Library, and I guess as a thank you, they sent me these 2 books. They asked what 2 books I didn't have that I wanted, so they sent these to me. Just incredible. So I got the cryptozoology. I picked this one. This is like Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster. Supernatural stories, I guess. Is that supernatural? They're cryptids. Are cryptids supernatural? No, because they're real, right? They're real. They really exist. Cryptids really exist. Hopefully there's some Mothman stories in here. That's my favorite. You know, I love a good Mothman. Looks like we got some dinosaurs. Thunderbirds, is that what they're called? That's not a Thunderbird though. Oh, I like this one. Look at that. A Man from Another Age. So yeah, just like their other books, it has great artwork. Wonderfully curated. They picked the best stories from the men's adventure magazines from the 50s to the 70s. So I'm looking forward to that. Oh. And then I also picked The Exotic Adventures by Robert Silverberg. It's a collection of his adventure stories. He had a sort of, I guess it would be an adventure story in their anthology Weasels Rip My Flesh, and I just absolutely love it. I was floored. I couldn't believe it was Robert Silverberg that wrote it. And I did that buddy read with Speculative Reader where we did Robert Silverberg's Gang Girl, and I liked Robert Silverberg's science fiction. That's how I knew him first off. And that's just come to my realization that I just really like Robert Silverberg. So, awesome. I'm looking forward to getting into some exotic adventures. All right, next up I was gifted this box here. Look at the beautiful artwork. This is from Bob Freeman, Occult Detective. It's a channel here on YouTube. And I've been talking about Gothics a lot lately. So I plan on doing a video about them, and I just did a double review. So he sent me some Gothic books, because Bob's the man. You're the man, Bob. Very cool. I'm excited. I think we're going to hang out. We're going to hang out soon. Maybe we'll get some footage. I don't know. I don't know if he'll be comfortable with that. So he sent me Mary Roberts Reinhardt the Bat. I had this one, but I have the lithograph cover. Like, it feels like felt almost. And I almost started reading it the other day, and I was like, it was very fragile. It's not in good shape. So I was excited to get this so I can take it wherever I like. And I really like this cover. As much as I appreciate that the other one is different, I just like the Gothic painting there. All right, and then he sent me another Mary Roberts Reinhardt, The Haunted Lady. Look at that wonderful cover. The Fairbanks Curse. When Hilda Adams came to the Fairbanks mansion as nurse companion to old Eliza Fairbanks, she was warned Eliza was prey to sick fancies, insane fears. There's always a terrible secret. Always. What is up with this mysterious family? Very Gothic. And then we got another Mary Roberts Reinhardt, Lost Ecstasy. This one definitely looks more on the horror side than the romance. Or more on the suspense. They don't put the horror on there, it's suspense. These are Gothic suspense novels. Dangerous Passion. Young Kay Dowling had everything a girl could want. Beauty, wealth, position, a doting family, and a swarm of suitors. Yet a restless longing consumed her, as if the luxurious mansion in which she lived were little better than a prison cell. I don't know. It looks like she meets a guy, and he's up to no good. Typical males. And then lastly in the box, and I'm really glad he sent this because in the video I want to talk about the difference between classic Gothic horror, the Gothic literature, and how it changed into the Gothic romance suspense of the 60s. So this is the classic Gothic horror. So this is a collection, some of the authors in here, and it was when I showed my wife this and explained it to her, I was reading off the authors. And one of them is Sheridan Le Fanu. And then she started going, oh, they have a very famous story called Carmilla. And it's like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. She just knew what it was already. God, she's so great. I wish I could get her to come on and talk about stuff. So we got stories by Horace Walpole, Clara Reeve, Matthew Gregory Lewis, Mary Shelley, Nathaniel Hawthorne, Edgar Allan Poe, and Sheridan Le Fanu. So that's good. Now I can read some of these and be able to tell you the difference. See if I can figure it out. See if I can figure out what the difference is. And explain it cohesively? I don't know. We'll see. So next we went to Columbus. It was my wife's vacation. And she wanted to go to the art museum. So we went to the art museum. And then she wanted to go to Satan's Realm. It's this awesome vegan restaurant in Columbus. If you're ever in Columbus and you're vegan, go there. Satan's Realm. And across the street from Satan's Realm is a bookstore called Karen Wickliff Books. So we said, what the hell, let's go there. As we go on here, you're going to see many doubles. I bought stuff twice in the same haul. And then I accidentally bought stuff that I gotten at the last haul. So it's going to be a lot of cool doubles going in the double box. So if you want to do a trade, let me know. Anyway, here we go. We're starting off with the one of the Judge D mysteries, Robert Van Gulik. I'm actually reading one of these right now. It stars. The star of the show is Judge D, who is judge, jury, and executioner back in the 700s in China. So it's just him solving mysteries. It's Sherlockian, I guess, but with the setting of ancient China. And it's very interesting. I thoroughly enjoy it. And I'm enjoying the book that I'm reading. So we'll cover that someday. Who knows? I found one of the books that I look for every time I go to a bookstore. It's one of the things that I specifically look for, and it is one of John Brunner's non-science fiction books, Good Men Do Nothing. So I read one of his spy books, and I don't know if this is specifically a spy book, but it's definitely a something in the crime genre. I don't know, maybe I'll read it. How about that? He was black and beautiful, so was she. And when this velvet swinging doll stopped a bomb that was meant for him, Max curfew suddenly became bad news to the man he intended to kill. For nothing was going to stop him now, not all the death-dealing colonels, not the whole murderous police state, and not even an escape-proof prison on a sea-lashed Greek island. What started as a routine undercover job now was a vendetta. Somewhere out on those legend-laden seas, an angry black man from Jamaica was going to slay another Cyclops. So yeah, I don't know. Is he, he's an agent. Agent Max Curfew. There you go. Maybe it is a spy book. I don't know. But I'm excited because I loved his other non-sci-fi book. And I like the Atlantic Abomination too. I guess I should... I guess, I have no intention of reading Stand on Zanzibar or any of the large-scale intelligent science fiction. I like Down Here. This is where I'm comfortable. So, yeah, I'll probably read another John Brunner science fiction. I really like the guy. I think he was just a good guy, just in general. Speaking of good guys? No, not speaking of good guys. Dennis Wheatley. They found Atlantis. This is a treasure hunting story from Dennis Wheatley. He was a UK author, and he's known mostly for his Black Magic series. He wrote lots of occult books. He was very, very into the occult. He wanted to be in the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, and I think they wouldn't let him or something. I think I read that once. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. But yeah, so this is, they didn't have any of the Black Magic books, but they did have a couple of his crime and thriller books. So I got one of those. I got this here, Mac Morgan, Assassin Shadow. Mac Morgan is ordered by the U.S. government to find and kill the agents of the international terrorist organization known as FEET. So he's some kind of he's an assassin. Assassin Shadow. Get with it. Anyway, look at this Hawk style cover. Very men's adventure. Looks awesome. You know what's funny is Karen Wickliff Books in Columbus is it's actually owned by Karen. She's an elder lady, and when I was checking out, she's like, "Oh, you got a bunch of these adventure books. Nobody ever buys them." And I was like, "Well, you know, you got any more? I'd love to buy them off of you. This is what I like." She's like, "Oh, I just threw away a box of them earlier." I was like, she threw them away. I was like, "Oh no!" And she goes, "They're probably still out in the dumpster. Do you want to go look?" I said, "Yeah, dude, let's go. Let's go to the dumpster. I got no problem. I'll jump in and dumpster dive these men's adventure books." So she like leads us through the store and out the back door, and my wife's looking at me like, "What's going on? Are you really gonna go jump in this dumpster?" Oh yeah, yes I am. I'm absolutely gonna jump in this dumpster for books. I mean, it's a bookstore dumpster, right? It's not gonna be gross. So we go outside, out to the back, open up the dumpster, and looking through it, and unfortunately, either someone came by and grabbed them already, or they had emptied it out. It was she was like, "Oh, I might have thrown those out 2 days ago." I was like, "Ugh." So I almost had a box full of dumpstered men's adventure books. Missed opportunity. I tell you what, if I lived in Columbus, I would be stopping by that dumpster every couple days to see what was in there. Alright, so I got a couple of these Policewoman, starring Angie Dickinson. It was a TV show. These are, I guess, not novelizations. They're maybe news stories from the TV show. I watched a couple episodes of this. I think it's on YouTube. It just popped up like, "Here's something you'd probably like." And I was like, "Ooh, YouTube, you know me so well. Policewoman." So when I saw those, I was like, absolutely, we're absolutely going to grab a Policewoman, Angie Dickinson. I found another Centaur, my Centaur collection, Caesar Dies by Talbot Mundy. It's a great cover. So it looks to be a gladiator story. We're getting quite the Talbot Mundy collection. He was also a Weird Tales author. So we need to get to. We need to start reading those Mundys. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is my 10th Centaur. I don't know how many there are. Mike, if you know, let me know, man. How many Centaurs are there? Put it in the comments. Got a couple of Death Merchants. These were inexpensive. So we got the Kronos Plot. It's the Cuban one, anti-Castro. And then we got the Fourth Reich. So this is a, some fighting Nazis. Oh, and there's more Cubans. This is a big deal. Cubans was the hot issue at the time, I guess. Even Cubans are mixed with the Nazis. Tie them together. 1980. So this is from, 1980. Joseph Rosenberg. Death Merchant. Got this here. Spear of Destiny. Leo Ruttman, legendary source of might, places an American pilot on a collision course with Nazi Germany. some more Nazi smashing, which we enjoy. I just like the way these, even though it's big font, even though it's no, it's one of the pinnacles. Can you see how it's raised? And I don't know, I just love how trashy the Pinnacle books are. So there you go. Spear of Destiny. Third Reich. Oh, caught between the vicious Third Reich and the deadly Mafia. That's what sealed the deal right there. The mob and the Nazis. I found a Casca that was inexpensive. So I picked up another one of these. I might, or I don't know. I have some of these. I really need to start keeping a list. I don't know if I already have this one, but this one is in really good shape. It's probably in better shape than my other one, if I do have it. But yeah, I need a list. So Casca, Barry Sandler. Sandler. It's Adam Sandler's dad. Barry Sadler, the Green Beret song guy. Oh, here's my other policewoman. There we go. Death of a Call Girl. You know, I like to pick the trashiest ones that are available. Actually, I think there was only the two, and I got them both. Sergeant Pepper Anderson enters a porno king's seamy world and discovers a white slave racket and murder. Pepper Anderson. That's what I want you guys to call me that. From now on, just call me Pepper. I got, this is a book that I got in the last haul, but it's a different edition. Fritz Leiber, Swords in the Mist. So I'm gonna pick whichever one I like the best, whichever cover, and keep it, and I'll put the other one in the trade box, because I don't find these very often. So maybe you don't either, and you're wanting it. And there we go. So we got some trade fodder. I got another Robert Van Gulik, Judge D. This is the Chinese Bell Murders. It's kind of a fatter one. 7th century AD. Oh, it's from the 600s, not the 700s. I said 700s last time. 600. So yeah, you know what? I really like these books too. It has a feel to it. It feels like the Centaurs. How do I explain it? It feels very, it's like thin. I think it's, I don't know. It's thin. It's nicer quality, I guess, is what I'm saying. Even though you would think that thin isn't nicer quality, but oh, it's got a bookmark in it. Jack Beard, John, Book, Concrete, Safety Surge, Jack Beard. All right, a few more from Karen Wickliff, another Judge D. This is a different edition, different publisher. The Emperor's Pearl. This is the edition that I'm reading right now. I like these covers better. They have drawings inside that Robert Van Gulik, the author, does himself. And of course it's not in this one, because why would it be the one that I'm mentioning? Oh, come on. Oh, there's one. Okay. So he does these kind of the era he's writing. He does it in the style of that. He does the drawings himself. Robert Van Gulik was a British guy who was very much into Asian culture. Went and lived over in China for a while. I don't know, I looked into him briefly, and there's some essays on him in the beginning of those books. And he sounds very interesting. So when I do the video, I'll talk a little bit about old Bob Van Gulik. Got another Talbot Mundy. This is The Nine Unknown. In the Orient is known that somewhere there are 9 who rule, men or gods or demons who know the ancient mysteries and constantly affect mankind's destiny. Whether the 9 are working for good or evil, only a few men can say. So yeah, some fantasy fantasy action adventure, very pulpy right there. I wonder if these were originally published in the pulps. Yeah, it's from it's written in 1923. So maybe they're books from 1923, but not necessarily published in the pulps. I got this one just because I liked the way the cover looked. Raum, Carl Sherrill. He challenged the fury of Lucifer's reign. So it looks like fantasy horror. It has a wraparound cover. The damned rising up from hell. Got some Vikingness going on there. Some magic and shit. I don't know. Speaking of Vikings, The Dark Return, Vikings #2. This is one that I already have, but I wanted to get it to put in the trade box because I love this series, and I feel like some of you out there might like it, so maybe we can trade for it. It's #2. I don't know if you necessarily have to read the first one. I have read the first two, and it's hard for me to separate it because I read the first one, so I knew all the characters, but I'm like, does it really matter? Does it really matter to know the characters when it starts at #2? I don't know, maybe. I got this one because it was a Lion Books, and it is The Deluge by Leonardo da Vinci. So it's probably not in the usual style of literature that I enjoy, fiction that I enjoy, but how could I pass up that salacious cover? They made Leonardo da Vinci a pulp writer. So how cool is that? And it's a lion, and it's in pretty good shape. Another Judge D. I know. You're like, okay, we got it. And it's not ending there either. It's in from other stores also. So there we go. Judge D at work. 8 Chinese detective stories. All those short stories. So this is a short story collection. Got another Dennis Wheatley, The Black Baroness. A Gregory Solus story. This looks to be another action adventure, maybe treasure hunting. It has to do with the Second World War. Nice. I don't know. It's a fatty, though. It is a fatty. I got a Juan Yorca mystery. The Man in the Tricorn Hat. Delano Ames. He was a Spanish writer. And I read one of the Juan Yorca. Juan Yorca. That's probably how you say it, right? I don't know. I read one of his books last year or 2 years ago, and it was great. And I wanted to get another one. So there we go. Got one with a cool cover. He actually goes back. His books go back to the mapback era. He has some mapbacks. So it's probably a reprint. It's probably originally from like the 50s or 40s. This is a double. This is another Viking book. I got a lot of Viking going on in Columbus. This is Hakon, The Viking's Revenge. I think this is part two of the series. Yeah, by Eric Nielsen. Some Viking action. So that's going in the trade box also. If you're interested in Vikings, I'm stocked up in some Viking fiction. Okay, and then we went to Bonnetts right down the street. Bonnetts Books, one of the oldest bookshops still open. Back in the 30s, we have the interview where we interviewed Kevin Bonnet. I'll put that link somewhere right there. So we had a bunch of trade. We went down there. He also has a bunch of men's adventure books. And I grabbed a penetrator. There was many. And I got this one because it has this guy riding a killer whale. So I thought, oh, that's exciting. Sky High Betrayers. Mark Hardin hunts for an atomic scientist missing with plans for a top secret project. Okay. That's gonna fall over. Let's put it somewhere else. Got a treasure hunting book here. This is The Golden Oyster. Donald Gordon. Has to do with Nazi treasure. I like the underwater scenes. Anytime I see an underwater scene, all I hear is the music from Thunderball. Death in the Snow, a Johnny Ortiz mystery. This takes place in New Mexico. I thought it looked kind of like a Western mystery crossover, which it probably is, because that's what it looks like. And it takes place in the snow, which, you know, I'm a big fan of. Here's one that I've never seen before. The Protector, #1, Venus Underground, Rich Rainey. America looked like one big hustlers convention to the Protector. Someone had to reclaim it. In Venus Underground, a gorgeous senator's daughter is kidnapped by a ruthless international sex slavery ring. So yeah, there you go. There's a lot of sex slavery going on in these men's adventure books. I just thought, look at the way this guy looks. It looks like one of those weird, like late 90s video games when they were trying to do 3D at first. Bonnets has quite the selection of sleeves. So we got Lust Doll here by Don Holiday, which I was hoping was a pseudonym, but it's not. Or maybe it is. I don't know. A pseudonym for a famous author. But I think I have another Don Holiday book. So there we got Lust Doll. She bathed wanton men in her sin and shame. We got this Creepy, the best of Creepy. This is a Creepy magazine in paperback form. We got a Frazetta there. It's funny because my wife had just ordered this shirt. She ordered this exact t-shirt. It was a dilemma. She was like, do you like this one or this one better? This one, this one? Oh, decisions. And I said, get this one. That is the Wolfman fighting Dracula. So if you've never seen these before, kind of hard to read, but still very collectible, as they say. They say, the collectors. I got this excellent looking Gothic, the Jeweled Dagger, Julie Ellis. And this is like, it takes place in Istanbul. So it's kind of a different setting. It looks more centered around a crime than a suspense. Mysterious spiderweb of deception. That's pretty Gothic. I just really like the way that looked. Let's get my fingers off of it. How's that? I was really happy about that one. Then I got Torrid Winch. Already hit. This is a later reprint because it has a 1-900 number on the back. So Ori Hit was like one of the most famous sleaze authors, and one of the few that's actual quality, is actual good at what he does. So yeah, there we go. Torrid Winch. Then here is that magazine that I was trying to find in the last live Q&A with Bob Dice and Bill Cunningham from the Men's Adventure Quarterly magazine. I had this magazine and I wanted to ask Bob about it. It's called Daring Detective. It's from the 30s, I think. And it's a true crime, but I don't know. When you open it, the stories don't look necessarily true crime. And that's why I wanted to ask him about it, because he said that there's a couple of the detective magazines that were kind of like a Men's Adventure. So I was hoping it was one of those crossovers. So I don't know. I need to look into it further. But I don't know if it's a true crime or fictionalized true crime. There we go. Daring Detective. I got a package in the mail. Little package. I open it up and it's from our man Steve Nagan. Steve Nagan is often in the comments. Very knowledgeable about many vintage genre fiction facts. And he sent me this Blue Hawk. I opened it and I was like, what is this? And then there's a note that says, hey, I know you love those Hawk books. Here's a Blue Hawk. So it's kind of a gag gift. And I was looking at it, and the more I looked at it, I was like, you know, if I seen this in the store, I probably wouldn't have bought it. But now that it's in my house and it's in my hands, I almost just started reading it right then. I was like, this is actually kind of cool looking. It's like, got this cult here. It's a fantasy novel. So yeah, it says, the Blue Hawk, Tron, a novice priest, had spent his entire life in blind obedience to the major priests, who served the gods of the sun, moon, and air. On the day of the ritual consecration of the king, however, Tron is Goat Boy, allowed for one day to act on any impulse. So he's got like his Rumspringer. He's Goat Boy. He's allowed to do whatever he wants. But who could have imagined Tron had heard it, the silent command of the air god, and he had obeyed. Incredibly, he had stolen the sacred Blue Hawk, and doomed the only ruler he had ever known to death, and had damned himself into external exile. But in the wilderness, in an abandoned temple of sinister secrets, Tron slowly trained the extraordinary Blue Hawk, and with this bird as his sole companion, he embarked on the seemingly inevitable journey toward death. So in an opulent coffin filled with myriad treasures, Tron entered a terrifyingly unknown land to learn the intrigues of gods, the follies of men, and the soaring magic of freedom and love. I don't know, I never read stuff like this. So I'm like, I just want to read it just to know. Don't you want to know? Don't you want to know what that's about? It's so different from what I usually read. So maybe we'll step to it. Maybe. Alright, and last up we went to the Bookery, which is the store in Fairborn where I find all the pulps. We did get one pulp, I'll show that last. They have a big section of... Not a big section. They have a section of dollar books. And this was after Columbus, so I found another one. Another of the Judge D mystery books, classic Judge D. So that will go into the trade bin. I got this graphic mystery for $1. It's really beat up, but it was $1 and you hardly ever see the graphic mystery ones. One time I showed a graphic mystery, and I forget who it was, but in the comments they said they'd never seen a graphic mystery that wasn't destroyed. And they're right. I'm tired. We grabbed this Weird Tales. It's got some Robert E. Howard and Manly Wade Wellman. My wife actually picked this out. Brian Lumley. So, all new stories of the strange and marvelous and the supernatural. I don't know what this is. This isn't just reprints. Let's see what it is. Okay, yeah, so some of it is original Weird Tales fiction, and some of it is from 1981 when this was released. So that is interesting. They're maybe apparently trying to bring Weird Tales back into the popularity, the mainstream. I'm getting tired, it's getting hard to talk. Anyway, let's go. Alright, we got Whine with Sin here, kind of a sleazy... That man, Valentine Flynn, is out to win with sin. I don't know, I'm probably a sleazy spy. Like a man from Orgy or something. I had a Monarch that I didn't have. I got this for $1. That made me very happy. The Flying Eyes, J. Hunter Holly. It's going to go into our Monarch collection. Another double of the Judge D. Got a bunch of these Donald Westlake Parker series. Oop. So, yep. It's a Thief. It's the Thief series. Donald E. Westlake writing is Richard Stark. Got a Hot Rod book for $1. Usually these Hot Rod books cost money, but I heard they're not very good. They're definitely something of the era when it was like the trend when hot rods were the thing to do. And I don't think it's a young adult or anything. I think it's, I'm sure it's geared towards teenagers, but maybe like older teenagers, 18-year-olds. I got this, probably purely just for display. Betty Grable, The House with the Iron Shutters. So this is a hardcover. It's a series of books where they took movie stars and they made them be the star of the book, the protagonist of the book. So this is like Betty Grable solving a mystery, and they are for children, young adults, teenagers. And I just really, I don't know, I liked it. I liked the way it looked. I like Betty Grable. I was like, man, I want to put this on a shelf somewhere. I want it to be displayed. But who knows? Maybe I'll read it. Betty Grable and The House with the Iron Shutters. So I thought that was neat. Something you don't see all the time. And then I got this one, Pulp. The G-Man Detective. It's $10. I got it because it has a Norman Daniels story in it. Come on out. There we go. So I had thought that because there's Jim from Mystery and Mayhem is doing the Private Eye in July, and I thought that this was a Private Eye one. I forgot. I'm pointing at my eye. It's not. So this is Establishment Detectives, which is breaks the rules of Private Eye in July. But I think that they might have some more detective pulps there. I'm going to go back and see if I can get one, and I'm going to try and participate at least one video. So I'll try and find a pulp of the Private Eye Detective. I think that'll be fun. Plus it won't be that big for me to take on. It'll just be a little short project. Short being 8 hours. But yeah, this is like the man, the G-Man. This is the FBI agent going on FBI missions, solving mysteries. Got some cool black and white pulp art. I like this one. As Dan Fowler went over the side, guns cracked. Oosh. All right. Oh, I forgot to mention, there's one more. Where to go? I got a book at, we got this book at Half Price Books. The Devil's Channel, Jeremiah McCammon. They didn't have anything else, so very disappointing. Not only that, but they moved everything around. I was standing there with this face on, like, and they came up to me and they go, Nick, what's that face about? What's wrong? I said, you moved everything around. I hate that. I hate change. Don't change. It was fine how it was. But they said, oh, sorry, it's fine how it was. And they said, but we put all the hardcovers and the paperbacks of all the genres together on these shelves. I was like, I don't care. I don't look at the hardcovers. You mixed it all up. All right, don't be a baby. Okay? Don't be a baby, Nick. Just go look. So I go look. There isn't anything. And actually, it looks like there's even less paperbacks than there used to be, which is like, that's not good. And when I went, they usually have in the front section, they have these two shelves. And it has these books. It has all the stuff that I buy. is in these 2 shelves. When they first get it, that's where they put it. And if it doesn't sell, then they put it in the normal genre area. And I went up there and it was gone. They still had the spinner racks, but that's where they put overpriced books. The shelves was where they put like the good stuff and properly priced. And it has all of their rare stuff. It was over in the corner in the front. And I walk up front, and what's there? In my section, how dare they do this? Is it the newest, hottest fiction? No. Is it romantasy? No. Is it young adult? Is it like this cool stuff that the kids are all into? No, that would have been fine. I could have accepted that. It was Funko Pops. They replaced my beautiful vintage genre fiction shelves with fucking garbage. What? What are you doing? Half-priced books, not half-priced garbage. It was heartbreaking. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So where did my shelves go? Okay? So I go to this aisle, and it's the worst aisle. It's where they always got a cart sitting. There's always a cart in the middle. It's the main aisle where people walk through to get to the front to get to the cashier. And it used to be where the fantasy and science fiction was. Which was a bummer, but, you know, I did it anyway. I would stand there in the aisle and people would have to walk around you in between the cart. You'd always have to get up and move around. It sucked. It was the worst aisle. So that's where they put my stuff. And I was like, God damn it, right? This is where they put the rare stuff. I was like, where's my paperbacks? And I looked down. They're almost on the floor underneath like this overhang. So I have to climb down to the floor now, like basically lay on the floor to look at these books. I went home and I wrote an email and I said, how dare you do this? Half-price books, how dare you do this to me? Do you know how much money I spend there? No, I'm just kidding. I didn't do anything. I came home and I made this whining video online about it, which will do nothing. It's just purely to vent. This is the vent part of the video. And that's how we're going to close it, because most of you don't make it this far anyway. So, thanks for watching this really long-ass video. Tune in for the Will Erickson Live, Saturday, July 5th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like and subscribe if you want. And I am out of here.